club. I couldn't agree more. But on a more lighter note, I would say that every club has seven wonders, and that's those seven wonders are the XCOM members. And one of that wonder is the treasurer. No role is less or more important, but in my personal opinion, everything revolves around money. If you have the money, you can plan things. So treasurer is definitely a vital role in contributing to the success of the club. So what's on agenda today? We're going to cover about what is the treasurer's role in brief, what are the responsibilities that a treasurer is supposed to execute, and what the club looks up to as terms of a treasurer's responsibilities. And finally, I will touch upon some resources which you can check online and get more familiar with the role. So let me start. The objectives: identify your role. What is your role? Fulfilling your responsibilities, and finding resources that help you. Treasurer's role. We're talking about three main aspects of the treasurer's role. We're talking about the club meeting, outside the club meeting, and the XCOM. So these are the three aspects for the treasurer. Club meeting. Before the club meeting, during the club meeting. What is it before the club meeting? Preparing a financial report. Now we are nearing the second phase. We are about to start the second phase of our term, which is Jan to June, and which when the change of guard will take place. So by now you're already familiar with what is a financial report. In other words, in simple terms, it is a statement of account. Now, what's a statement of account? From the time you took over this position as a treasurer, you were probably handed over some funds from your outgoing treasurer. So you received funds, and from there on, you have started receiving funds from your members towards the fees. And at the same time, you've been also incurring some expenses towards the club running of the meetings. And I know that now, probably because of online meetings, the expenses are bare minimum. But this is in context of a regular meeting where you do incur expenses. So as a treasurer, you need to prepare a clear, detailed statement of account of the total money which comes in and which goes out. Please remember that we are just a custodian of the cash, of the money, but we are answerable to the club. Every member who pays the money has every right to ask the XCOM, and in particular the treasurer, as to where his funds are being utilized at. So it is very important, it is imperative that we maintain a clear record, and that is what it is about a financial report. You don't need to be a seasoned chartered accountant to do this. It is as simple as what you do at home for your expenses and income. You have your salary, you have your expenses, just a plain Excel to tell you this is my income and this is my expenses, any which ways that you are comfortable with. The objective is at any point in time, if a member is to ask or the president has to ask, what is our financial position, you should be able to furnish that quickly. So for that, this statement of account will help. During the meeting, collect membership dues. Perhaps this is the easiest thing that can be done in a meeting, that when the member comes in, you know the member, you know that it's time for the money to be collected. So you can easily go to reach up to the member and then collect the dues. And in terms of collecting the dues, some members would normally insist to give a receipt. Please understand that we as Toastmasters in Qatar are not a registered entity. So a receipt as such cannot be provided because it has a legal implication. Having said that, you could probably give them a WhatsApp or an SMS saying that you acknowledge having received the money. This is just to comfort the member that he or she has paid the money, because sometimes the member gets a feeling that what if you have not recorded it and what if you're going to again ask me. So just to comfort them, just drop in a small message saying that you have collected the fees. But like I said again, no official receipt document of anything called as a receipt and signing. That is not permitted here at the moment. Now, why do we collect the dues? Obviously, because we in turn are liable to pay the fees to Toastmasters International. As you all know by now, we have two terms that are applicable for the renewal, and that is in October and April. Now, some clubs have followed the same term as Toastmasters International, which is October and April, and some clubs opt for Jan to June and July to December. Now, I presume that there are a mix of clubs here, treasurers, who have both the terms which are being followed. Now, do not ever wait for the deadlines of October and April, presuming that it's just 10 days before or 15 days before I can sum up my collections. Start well in advance. When I say well in advance, what is in advance? Well in advance. 2 months is an ideal period that you can start prior to your deadline of the fees. Why 2 months? Because you only meet twice in a month, or even if it's online now, you only get to see each other twice a month. So even if you have to stress upon or remind the members of this, you only have 4 opportunities when I say 2 months before. So 2 months in advance is an ideal scenario for you to start collecting the fees. And there again, I also would like to share my personal experience about fees, how it gets collected. Now, there are many ways in which you could really collect the fees. One aspect could be that you go up to the meeting, you reach out to the member, meet him, and then say, "Dear sir, dear madam, so and so, your fees is due. Please pay up." Now, this is a very straightforward approach. This is what you are expecting. Host, could you please make sure that all are muted? Thank you.
Done.
Having said that, not everybody is prepared to pay the fees at the meeting. In the sense, they may not really carry the money with them. So you need to prep up this thing. Now, how do you prep up? You can call the members in advance before the meeting. Now, calling them also doesn't mean that you just call them and say, "Hi, your fees is due. Can you please pay me the fees?" Nobody's comfortable when in such a scenario when paying money in general. This is my personal experience. All the more in Toastmasters, when you say pay 200, 300, 400, or 500, they are not that comfortable immediately to reach out. So you need to set the relationship with your members. Now, how do you set the relationship? Now, you will always have a mix of members who are regularly attending the club meetings, and then there are the members who don't regularly attend the club meetings. So, in my personal opinion, I would suggest that you have to work more on those members who don't attend these club meetings. Because if they're not attending, your avenue of collecting the money at the venue is definitely ruled out. So, you need to find alternate way of collections. But before that, you need to set and establish a comfort level with your member. The member should not ever get a feeling that you're only calling him because you are interested in collecting the money. As an ExCom member, it is also your responsibility to make sure that the members are comfortable with the club. The members are attending the meetings regularly, because you, in a way, would also help the VP education or the VP membership to maintain that tempo of the membership and the attendance. So when you're speaking to any of the members, particularly the ones who don't attend, try to start negotiating in a way like call them up on a day, probably 2 days before, 3 days. You've been missing in the club. We love to see you. Or maybe start a conversation as if his work or her work style is very close to yours, the profession. Talk something on the profession, talk something about the family. Set a connection with your member, and that is very important. And this is what I have learned in Toastmasters. Today, we live in the age of WhatsApp. We live in the age of emails. But let me tell you this from my personal experience. However times you send a WhatsApp message, the kind of trick that a simple phone call of a minute can do to you with your member, you cannot substitute that with a WhatsApp message. So reach out to the member, call them up, try to establish that connect. Once the member is connected with you, he or she will feel comfortable talking to you on the subject of fees. And now comes the question, if that member is not coming in regularly, how do you find your avenue? Now, this is again each person to person. If that person is probably living close by to your place. You could probably meet at some common point and then collect the fees. Having said that, your primary goal is to coax the member to also attend the meetings. But if that is not working for whatever reason he or she is committed at work, this is one opportunity you could do. The other way of collecting the fees is try and find out who introduced this member to the club. Now, it could be one of your ExCom members who has introduced the member to the club, or it could be another member. Now, if that member is coming regularly to the meetings, try to talk to that member and ask him or her as to why that person who's not coming, what is the concern, and if he or she can talk to that member. That way, you will also ensure that the connect is still there between members and the attendance is there, and then it makes your life easy for connecting the fees. Then we talk about the other practical thing. Now, member is ready to pay the fees. He has come up. Let's say your fees is 400. Now, please understand, most of the times the members would come with a 500 real note. They will not actually bring the tender the exact change. So it is a good trick to have some change cash with you wherever you meet him. So there is no excuse for that person to say, "Oh, I don't have a change. So sorry, I cannot pay it. Probably I'll pay it to you next time." So you should work smarter. Now, if you know it's 400, carry some 100 real notes with you so that when he pays you the 500, you can immediately pay him the 100. If it's 350, carry the change in 50s. Now, this may not sound something which is in the curriculum of Toastmaster, but this is what I'm trying to tell you from what I have learned in a couple of years in Toastmasters, particularly donning the treasurer's role. So do not give that opportunity to your member to say that, "Oh, sorry, you didn't have the fees. Let me come back later." The other trend that is now following is that normally the member will say that, "If you have your bank account, please send me the bank account. I can wire transfer it to you." That probably works the best now, particularly in these challenging times. This is again to the discretion of the treasurer. If he or she is comfortable giving the bank account to number to that member to transfer, it's up to you. But then let me tell you this. Since Toastmasters is not a registered entity in Qatar, you have to be a little careful when any income is coming into your account, particularly non-salaried income. So if at all some member is wanting to transfer this and you want to go ahead with this, just only inform the member that he or she should not mention the word fees, charges while sending the money. Just send the money, that's about it. Because the minute they mention fees or charges, there is a possibility that your bank might get in touch with you to understand what is this fees and what are the charges. Because in Qatar, you are not supposed to have an alternate source of income unless otherwise you have a registered entity which supports this. So my recommendation would be try and avoid the scenario of getting the funds into your bank account. But if it's no choice and you have to only get that because any which ways money has to come to you, try and make sure that you explain to that particular member that this is just to be mentioned as a money to be paid, but no mention of fees or charges. Now that you've been collecting the money, as and when you collect the money, please make sure that you record it immediately in the statement. Do not have a tendency that, okay, I've got it, let me go back and maybe after 2 days I will update it, or maybe over the weekend I will update it. At least keep a note that by end of the day you update it. Now, the reason I say this is I know this volume is not so much for membership that every day you're getting many payments and all. But as and when you get paid, if you record it, it also serves you as an easy reminder as to where are the pending money to be received from and the follow-ups. If you keep it pending, then you yourself may get confused sometimes who has paid. And if someday 2, 3 members are paying you, you may still get confused who has paid and who has not paid. So my recommendation would be, as soon as you get it, either you immediately probably send a message to them so that it's recorded both ways, and then immediately update. So keep your finances up to date, and that is very important on any day. Now that you have collected the fees, do not wait for the deadlines to come. Like if you have collected the fees by August, for example, and the deadline is October, don't wait for your president or your area director or your division director to send you messages saying, "I cannot see the renewals of this club. Please do, please do." Do not give them that opportunity to call you, because once the money is collected, why hold it? Because immediately you can pay it. And also, off late, you could have seen that the district institutes a lot of awards time to time. Pay up so many fees and renew so many members, and you get an award. And who wouldn't want to be recognized by the officials of the district saying that this club is a prominent club, this club has been paying their money on time? So it is always easy that the minute you collect the money, try and pay the remittances due to Toastmasters International immediately. Do not wait. So that thereby your count of follow-ups also reduces, and then you focus on those members who are where they are pending. Now, as treasurers, we probably are the first people sometimes who get to know that some member is not going to renew his or her membership for whatever reasons. Now, if that is the case and you get such a message, do not just leave it at that. Reach out to your VP membership, inform them immediately that so and so member has explained, has given his information to you saying that he or she is not keen in renewing. You also could walk an extra mile trying to understand what is the reason that this member is not paying the fees. Is it because he or she feels that he cannot attend the meetings regularly? If that is the case, you can immediately propose to them the dual or the silent member fees. Thereby, their membership is retained, and you can also give them that advantage of continuing their membership. Because sometimes we are in this part of the world where the work culture is such that you might suddenly get busy with your work and you may not be able to commit yourself to the club. But the most important aspect is you should not ever lose a member for want of this aspect at least. So give them options. Sometimes it could be purely a work related thing which they say that they cannot and they don't want to. It's fine. You don't have a choice. You can try coaxing them, but you cannot force them as such. There is still a buffer period for reinstating such members, and you can always follow up with them after probably a period or so to get back to them. Now, I've spoken about much of what happens inside during the club meeting. Now, what about outside the club meeting? So, like I said, same rule applies. When a member is not being able to make it, you then reach out to them and collect, and then you pay the dues. And this is again person to person interest. So, if you feel that it's easier for you to reach out to the member wherever he is or she is and go and collect it, do so. Because this is not very often that you need to do. You need to do twice in a year. And I think it is worth so that you get it done, and that way you are having a peace of mind in terms of this. And like our division director said, it's the backbone, and we wouldn't want our backbone to slouch on any day. So let's keep ourselves erect on this. Try and keep working on getting this very important aspect. This is the primary goal of a treasurer. Next is submitting the new member applications. Now, what is this? Usually, the VP membership would collect the new member forms, and then he or she would send it across to you to register that member with Toastmasters International. Now, different clubs follow different approaches. In some clubs, it is the VP membership who will register the member and then hand over the details to the treasurer so that the treasurer can make do the further needful of payment. And sometimes in some clubs, the treasurer himself or herself also tends to do this. Any which ways it works, it is okay. But one important aspect which I want to highlight here is, do not ever submit an application or renew unless and until you have received that money from the new member. Now, I know this could sound a bit odd for you now, but it is always in the interest of the treasurer to not commit on behalf of a new member. In the sense, do not have that concept of let me pay now and then whenever I meet him, I will collect. Because you risk here, if that member does not show up or does not want to continue, then that money which you have paid is a loss to the club. So do not ever have it. Unless otherwise, one of your ExCom members or your VP membership says, I take the responsibility of getting the money to you, you can go ahead and make the payment. In that case also, at any point of time, you need to tell in your club to that particular ExCom member that you are accountable for this. So if the money is not forthcoming, you will pay the money. You at any point of time, in my personal opinion, should not take the burden onto the club. It is always better to get the money and then make the payment. I hope I'm trying to tell you exactly, possibly this is practically what you have faced in these 6 months. So let us at least now bring a culture that unless the money is not in the kitty bank, we don't again in turn commit ourselves to this. Keep the financial records. Like I said, whether you have the money collected at the club meeting or outside, immediately update it. Keep your records very clear. Now, we are in this region where, since Toastmasters is not a registered entity, there is no qualifier or prerequisite here that you need to audit your financial records. Whereas in certain other parts of the world, particularly in US, these are registered entities, so you are expected to get your financial records audited. So that is why it is the stress is more from that side of the region that you keep very clear records. Although here we don't have that norm, still maintain clear financial records of what income and what expenditures you are getting. Income by way of whatever you collect, expenditure by way of whatever you're paying on behalf of the club. Presenting the financial reports. Now, what we mean by presenting the financial reports is at a regular period of interval at the club, you need to present your report. By presenting does not mean you need to display the entire statement. You can just read out quickly to the benefit of members. I would recommend a quarterly approach is good. Once in every 3 months, you can probably just read out that currently we have received so much during this term. We had this many expenses. This is how much money we are left with. This gives you assurance to the members that there is money in the club, that the money that is being paid is being utilized properly, and there is no ambiguity here. So always make it a point once in 3 months. If you have not done it already, I would sincerely request you that at your next meeting immediately after this session today, try to present your financial reports. I'm sure there will be some members who will definitely appreciate the fact that there is transparency in what we are doing at the club because there is money involved. Submit club accounts, attend executive committee meetings. By now, you would have already got used to the culture of your club excom meetings. Some clubs meet once a month, some clubs meet twice a month, depending on the pending activities they need to discuss. So always carry your statement of account with you at your excom meetings, and you need to attend the excom meeting to get. And it's very important, it's not just to present your statement of account and say, okay, this is my statement of account, or I just send you the message, I've got 4,000 riyals with me and that's about it. No, the idea of attending the excom meeting is for you to also understand the pulse of the other role players in the excom. What exactly is happening, what is in the plan, what is about happening about membership, from membership, what is the VPPR involved in, is there anything that might come as an expense which you need to take care of. These are the aspects which are very important, which have to be discussed. So although your role is at times limited to only collecting and paying, it actually serves a bigger agenda where you also are actively involved in the other decisions. Because remember this, anything and everything that revolves around a decision in the club, somewhere or the other, it might have an impact on the funds that you hold. So you need to be abreast of what is happening. So please make sure that you do not miss any executive committee meetings. Reconciling the cash on hand, this is again very important. Some treasurers prefer to keep this money in their play at their residence with them, and some treasurers probably feel it's comfortable to deposit the money in their bank account, and so they can take it anytime. I leave it to your judgment, whichever way works for you. But at any point of time, make sure that whatever is the statement of account money, that is the money clearly identified with you, so that if there is a need to immediately settle it to someone, you can settle it. Now, when I say why would you settle it before the hand, let's say you have a better prospect and there is a need for you to leave for a better prospect. At that point in time, you should have it everything clear so that you can immediately hand it over to someone. And even when it comes to your end of term, it's clear, you can hand it over just by a day's notice. If somebody says that let's meet tomorrow and let's have a handover, you can easily do that rather than sitting and waiting and trying to compile at that point in time. So reconcile your cash at any point of time that is available on hand. This is a very accounting jargon saying cash on hand. It just means that what cash you hold or what cash you have been collecting and are held accountable for in terms of the statement. Now, in terms of the executive committee, preparing a budget. Now, we are at the second court training. This would have been also emphasized to you at the first court, where you had to prepare a budget. Now, what is this budget all about? You know how many meetings you're going to have during the year. It could be 24 meetings for 12 months, or probably some clubs have a concept of the vacation period, which is a month or two. There is a gap, and they consider it as 20 meetings in a year. Any which ways, whatever is your norm, try to find out those meetings, what would be the cost of those meetings to you. And when I say the cost, we are talking about in the normal circumstances, barring the online meetings now, we're talking about the expenses that you pay to the venue that you meet at. In some cases, the venue is a clubhouse, so maybe your expenses are limited there, but you have expenses in terms of the snacks that you get, the stationery that is required. So taking into account all these aspects, you need to prepare yourself as to what would be your expenses during the period. At the same time, you also know your membership strength. You also know what is a possibility or a scenario of new members coming in. Your VP membership would fill you in on that. So keeping the income and the expenses in mind, prepare a budget. And at this point of time, I also need to mention this. Try and find out during your term if there is any special occasion meetings which are going to come up. Now, when I say special occasion meetings, let's say you are when you took over the term, you are at 95th meeting, and very soon a 100th meeting is going to come. Usually, the milestone meetings calls for a little more celebration. So there is a tendency that you may want to have probably a better spread in terms of food, or you may have more dignitaries coming in for your 100th meeting, which means your burden of snacks that you arrange for would increase. So considering all this in mind, prepare a very realistic budget. Why the budget is important? Once you put the budget in place, you know how much money you would need during the term. That serves as a feeder to your VP membership, that if this much money is required, I should always have this many members. So what happens in this part of the world, we have seen this, and I'm sure you would have also witnessed it, is there are always some members who would leave the club for various reasons, like as I mentioned earlier. So to fill that vacuum of those clubs, you need to make of those members, you need to make sure that you always have the members coming in. So it's imperative for you to know what is your ballpark figure that you always need to maintain. So the budget serves a lot in this regard for you to know where you are heading at. Presenting the reports, like I said, just like you present the report there, you need to present the reports to your excom. Now here, when you're presenting the reports, you can be a little more elaborative. You can actually show them the entire statement. And there is something else in this aspect which I would like to touch upon, is there is a possibility that some of your excom members may incur some expenses which is probably agreed upon earlier or not, and they would come and submit the bill to you. The norm says that the bill has to be actually vetted or looked at by the president, and needs to give a nudge to that. He needs to give a nod to that bill so that you can pay it. At any point of time, unless and until the excom collectively does not approve that expense, you should not be settling that bill to anyone. Uh, Probably this is not being practiced so much now. If not, I would highly recommend and suggest that you bring this into practice, so that every expense is accounted for and members know that whenever they're spending some money, it is not our money, it is the club's members' money, and we are accountable for that collectively and individually as a treasurer. So present your reports and take due concurrence from all your excom members for everything that has been accounted for. Working with the executive committee on a club success plan. Now, we are on the second half of the term, and soon enough, there'll be a change of guard. So you need to start preparing a club success plan. And what this entails for you as a treasurer, in the past, I remember we used to have a subcommittee for every role. So by December, you will have another member of your club helping you out with your role, day-to-day role. This helps you to also relieve yourself of some load that you are in, and also you are developing a new leader and a new ExCom member parallelly. So when it comes the time for the change of guard, you don't need to look any further in terms of who could be the next treasurer. There is definitely the protocol of elections and the protocol of getting elected, voting in, but seldom we see that if there is already somebody getting developed, he or she would be the obvious choice, and the members also know, and they also know what to look at. So the member also will feel comfortable in terms of doing his or her role ahead, because he's already been working with you during this 6 months period. So this is one aspect, that you need to develop your incoming leader parallelly. So now is the time that you have a member being associated with you who can work with you for your role. So please understand this. This is just to develop a leader. At any point of time, this does not mean that you are relinquished yourself of your roles. Finally, you are responsible for your role for the tenure that you have been elected to. But all I'm saying is that you have another member to work with you. So when your term gets over, you already have a new leader who can take over this position. The other aspect that you need to also work at is try and list out what are the challenges you faced during your term. Now, when I say challenges, it could be multifold. You could have had one challenge of memberships have dropouts, which led to a problem in your funding. You could also have had an issue of the venue cost going up, because of which you could not really save the kind of money that you were looking at from the budget. Always correlate this with your budget and then find where you were. Thereby, you'll be able to actually tell to the incoming team, particularly your successor, that these are the challenges specifically which I faced or the ExCom faced in this year, so that they are better equipped to handle the same scenario when they take over in the ensuing term. So it's very important that you start preparing on a club success plan, which is listing out, getting a team member to be involved with you, to work with you for your role, so that he or she can be prepped up and you have an incoming successor, leader for you, and list out all your challenges that you have faced in the club, so that they know where are the things that they need to look at. I actually have concluded what I had to complete in terms of the entire role. But before I say that's completely done from my side, I would like to give like a 5 to 10 minutes time window for you members. If you have any specific questions at this juncture for whatever I've spoken so far, please feel free to raise your hand, and the host will read out the question, and then I can actually answer it to the best of my abilities. And again, after the break or so, we can also look at what are the other aspects that we can look at in terms of your questions, anything I can specific to the role or generic for that matter, and we can take a call. I'll just stop the screen share, and I would love to take your responses, questions. So host, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to raise it.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Ahmed. Yes, please.
I'm Abdul Wahid. I'm treasurer of 8MAC Toastmasters Club.
Yes.
I just wanted to know, is apart from the membership fee, is there any source, any revenue that the club can have for to meet the expenses? For example, you said like some special occasions. Can we have a charge for each event from the members
Right.
or sponsorships? Yeah.
Very good question. I really appreciate the fact that you've asked this question. Yes, there are avenues in which you can have money being collected in additionally to your fees, and that purely depends upon your members. Like, for example, if you're having a milestone meeting coming up, you may want to organize the milestone meeting at a special place, maybe a dove boat or an excursion. If it's winter now, you can also try for an excursion. In the pretext of these such examples, you can actually collect some money additionally over and above what you collect as fees. This is one way in which you can bring the money, and as long as the member is comfortable, this again depends upon the member's comfort. If he or she is comfortable paying you whatever nominal charges you have. The other option is, yes, if one of your members is also dealing in a company, working for a company which does a lot of marketing for themselves, you could probably market one meeting under name. We can market that saying that this particular meeting is sponsored by so and so company. There they can pay the money to you, and that could be used. It is acceptable as long as you cannot issue a receipt to that particular company saying that yes, I've collected the money. As long as the understanding is there, it could be a small amount like 400, 500 riyal just to cover for your one meeting expenses. You could also do a joint meeting, thereby you could save some money. It's not always about getting the money, it's always about cutting down the expenses also. So if you could have 2 or 3 joint meetings, that will also help you to reduce your burden and have the money saved. Did I answer your question right? Is this okay to you, or do you have anything else that I would like to add on this further?
Thank you for that. That's an idea for me. Like, can sponsor one particular meeting by some particular company. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
In fact, when I started my journey in Toastmasters, I was sponsored by my company because they used to pay for one meeting fees. And one of the occasions, the VP membership then said, instead of paying the fees, why don't you sponsor one of your employees? And that's how I joined Toastmasters way back in 2003. So that also works. Thank you.
Arvind, I've got a query.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Normally, aside from club meetings, you have got the annual day and, club celebrations of, let's say, it's 100th meeting and all that, That's when you would like to do it with a little bit more funfair and than normal. Is sponsorship allowed in that respect? And how can we go ahead and get somebody to sponsor our program?
See, like I said earlier, we are not a registered entity yet in Qatar, so we cannot legally collect money and issue a receipt for what we have collected. Because some companies, if they're paying the money, they may insist on giving a document as a proof of having paid you the money. So that cannot happen. Having said that, we are not talking about huge amounts if you're talking about club level. You're talking about something like 200, 300, 400, or probably $1,000. I don't think companies here have that much concern of documentation as 1,000. So yes, you can reach out to your members. It is that member who can give you the information saying that my company is interested in, or probably you could reach out to one of the organizations. Yes, we are interested in giving a sponsorship. All they would expect is that you put their signage out at the venue. Now, there's also a slight challenge in terms of the venue. If you're meeting at a hotel, the hotel sometimes may have a reservation of what sort of marketing, what marketing can be done at the hotel venue by another company. For example, if you are getting a sponsorship from a catering company, the hotel would not be happy to put a signage there which belongs to a catering company inside a hotel which has its own food and beverage counter. So you have to be a little careful about whom you're approaching and where you're wanting to meet. Having said that, yes, you can go for sponsorship with companies who are willing to give you that. As long as you get sponsorship, more the merrier. So yes, you can use it, definitely.
One more question.
As a practice, is it possible for the club president to issue a letter to the company soliciting sponsorship on the letterhead of the Toastmasters Club? That provides some kind of a legitimacy.
Right. Normally what happens is, when you say letterhead, again, the letterhead is just what you prepare in a Word document with the logo of your club, if it has a logo. You cannot use Toastmasters International logo on that document straight, because it's not an event by Toastmasters International. Usually what works for these small paltry amounts is an email from the president, a detailed email talking about what is Toastmasters, what that particular club is involved in, with a salutation, with a signature saying that I'm the president of the current term. That serves it best. Yes, you can give a letter, but it cannot be something which has a seal or a Toastmasters logo per se as such, but you can write in detail what is the event for. And as long as that event has some mileage for the company which is sponsoring, they should use that. This letter is good enough. We have done it at the higher level, as division level and all. We also do the same approach of writing into the companies. When all we do is we just send an email, and then we go into meeting them, and then in person handing over them some of the marketing material that we get from Toastmasters, like flyers, just to tell what it is. And that's how we set the tone with the sponsors. But not an official record as such. Yes, please.
One question. can let's say I'm a member, or as
Uh-huh.
a treasurer, I'm a member. I want to
Okay.
voluntarily contribute something extra than my
Okay.
regular fees. Is it allowed?
uh, if I'm a member of that club, I'll accept it with open arms. Why not? If you
Oh,
feel like you want to contribute more to the club, more the merrier. You can definitely pay more, and it can be recorded in the club.
okay.
But whatever you're contributing, you need to make sure that it is recorded in the club. It cannot be considered as something beyond the fee, so need not be recorded. It should be recorded in the club, because at the end of the day, whatever you're contributing is in the interest and the development of the club. So it has to stay with the club. It cannot be used beyond the club.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
whatever you get and whatever you incur should be justified. That is that is asked for. If there
Thank
is
you.
someone who's wanting to pay up, why not? Take it with open arms.
Also,
Yes.
Venkat, if I can add to this, Arvind, please. This is Nalini here.
Yeah, hi, Nandini. Yes, please.
Yeah, hi. No, I was hoping we can get the list of people who want to contribute more. We will talk to them and maybe they'll join our clubs.
As long as in the current scenario, if you get what they are supposed to pay, I'm more than happy in the current situation. On a lighter note, but yes, if why not?
I
If
know,
you're
I
getting the
know.
list, probably you and me can share the list 50-50. Why not? Go ahead. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Hi, Arvind. This is Prasad from the Oryx Communicator Club.
Hi, Prasad. Yeah.
Hi, Arvind. Like we have seen, means from our club, we adopted some reduction in the fees because we
Uh-huh.
gone almost in a virtual. But is there any
Okay.
general guidelines at a district level, or is it a club-to-club decision?
See, the district does not set any guideline for the fees that is to be charged to the member. It is purely up to each of the clubs to decide. What the district we will request you is to make sure that whatever is the fees that is payable to Toastmasters International, that fee should be paid. Now, having said that, nobody would want to pay the fees from their pocket. So you definitely need to consider that how much would be your expenses for the year, and that divided by the number of members, how much do you think is a probable good figure? Now, in terms of your club, if it's a corporate club, any which ways, probably your venue cost is almost zero, because your venue is provided by the company. Whereas open clubs may have to consider this, which is why I said this is where the budget comes into the play. If you know your budget, what is it that you're planning for the year, and try to work towards that budget, then you can set yourself a good figure. One other aspect which I would like to touch upon is, as a treasurer, you have every right to also look into the club meeting venue. Let's say you started the club probably with 50 members and you're meeting in Radisson Blu, and today the membership for whatever reason has dropped to 35 and 30. If you feel that it's not right for us to absorb that cost of sort of a venue, you should in fact suggest to your excom saying, let's look at alternate options where we can cut down our cost. So fees is something which you can set for yourself as long as you are able to meet your expenses. District does not have any guideline for this. The only thing they would insist is for you to have a healthy membership so that you can pay that number of minimum fees for the criteria of the DCP points and the awards, and then pay that whatever $45 that is applicable for Toastmasters International. So that's what it is. There's no guideline as such for the fees.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Right. Yes, please. Is there any else? Anybody else has any questions?
Arvind, a question from me.
Yes,
It
from
is
me is
Melvin
who?
here.
Melvin.
Melvin.
Yeah, Melvin. Hi.
Okay, when the new members join in between the term, is it
Okay.
mandatory to adjust the fees on the pro rata basis, or club can decide to have the fixed fees for the whole term? Does the club
Okay.
has that right?
Good question. Now, this is again a very delicate situation. I would say how, for example, if somebody joins in the month of March and your term is Jan to June and July to December, if I can understand your question right, you are trying to understand if he or she joins in March, do I still charge for 6 months or do I take a pro rata of 3 months? Am I right?
Absolutely.
Right. See, now the thing is, usually when you collect any money, the first time a member is coming, it is a maximum opportunity to collect the maximum money, because nobody will have a problem paying you 500 and 600 also. It is the subsequent renewals where they start becoming treasurer. He or she should be clearly advised that this member has paid from March for 6 months. So his next term also, there is a spillover in your term for 3 months where he's collected. There again, the other member who's probably his friend, let's say now you go and tell him that now you only need to pay for 3 more months for the ensuing term because you've already paid 6 months beginning March. Another new member joining should not get an impression saying that you charge 300 instead of 600 from this member, whereas I'm paying 600. That needs to be established very well. So what works in my experience is you take the pro rata, so every term is cut off and made it to 0 and then again start fresh. So all the members who are paying, they pay the same fees. There is no ambiguity there between the members. Otherwise, you may have to go the extra mile explaining this logic of why the pro rata, when they join and all that. So this is what and in our club where I am part of, we have divided the membership fees by month. So whenever somebody joins in between the month, we actually take the pro rata amount up to leading to that next term. That's what we do. But whatever works for you, as long as the transparency is there with the incoming treasurer for that.
Okay, thank you, Arvind.
Thanks, Malvan. Yeah. Anybody else has? Okay, I think host, that's about it in terms of questions. I don't see anybody raising the questions. So
I'd like to ask one more question, if I may, Arvind.
go ahead, Harris. If I get your idea right. Yes.
I understand that there is Toastmasters do not encourage anybody who are not able to pay their membership fees.
I didn't. Can you rephrase this, please? What do you mean by do not encourage?
In the sense, like, if you're not able to pay your membership fees, then nobody should sponsor your fees for you, right?
See, it's like I have a different take on this. Now, if you're saying nobody should sponsor that member, it is the prerogative of the member. If he or she feels that this member is not able to pay and I should help them out, let them help out. We need not get between into this. But the real question to be asked is, why is he or she is not able to pay that fees? Is it the financial issue or is it some other issue? Because if it's financial, yes, then probably there is something to it that somebody helps and it works. But if it is beyond financial, then you are just getting the money, but you're not getting the member. And if the member is not there, he's not contributing to the club. The money is there, it's okay, but you don't really will get mileage from that member. And that is very important for the growth of the club. This is my personal opinion.
Arvind, my question is slightly different. You know, we've got a situation where a lot of engineering colleges back in India want to start Toastmasters Club. And being students, okay, they are not able to, you know, literally pay to TI the fees. So in that respect, even though they've got the willingness, they've got everything to do with Toastmasters and they're willing to develop and learn the communication skills, they are not in a position to pay, let's say, $7.5 a month, okay, and do this as a Toastmasters club. In that situation, my question is there any provision within Toastmasters where it is allowed, where, let's say, an alumni or somebody else can sponsor the membership of that club, okay, to make sure that, you know, they are into their final year. Once they are into their job, they will be able to fund themselves. But, you know, as a Kickstarter for those budding students, okay, to develop themselves into leaders and good communicators and excel in their professions.
See,
what is the avenue in Toastmasters for that?
To the best of my knowledge, as per the bylaws, there is no such specific clause saying sponsorship as a word in the laws. But if I understand your concern right, as long as you are paying on behalf of one of the entire members, as far as Toastmasters is concerned, the money is coming in. They really don't bother about whose credit card is being charged or debit card is being charged. That is, having said that, it is your decision that you want to support some members and renew it or charter the club on in their name. Even today, when somebody is paying on behalf of the N number of members, Toastmasters is not really looking at whether that particular member is affiliated, related, associated, or there is no such relevance. All that is required is the portal access is only given to the ExCom to log into that particular club's page and further and settle their dues. There is no provision today that you can, beyond the club, who's not a member, who doesn't have a credential, log in, call for a club and make a renewal. That is not there today. There is a slight provision available that if you as a member want to directly pay and not your club excom treasurer, you can write to Toastmasters International and they will allow you to pay your own fees to the Toastmasters. But there is nothing which says that he or she cannot pay on behalf of he or she. There is nothing as such. And sponsorship as such, there is no word. As long as you want to pay for somebody, go ahead and pay for someone. There is no problem there. There's no issues as such.
So that means even if you're not a member of that club, you are able to pay the fees to TI?
No, when I said for you to pay the fees, you should access the club through the club's credentials. So whether once you log in with the club's credential, they don't look at who's paying the fees, whose card is getting charged.
Oh.
Like for example,
Okay,
when
got
I was a treasurer, I didn't have a credit card. I was using my friend's card. So they don't worry about the card. What they look at is whether the person logging in is the person logging in for the club. Now I cannot log in and pay for another club here just because I have the card with me. That is only criteria that they have. Like I said, there is one more option available. The member himself or herself can write to TI that they are wanting to pay their fees directly. There is a way in which they can directly also remit the funds to Toastmasters International. That's only there. But there is nothing like, can I pay on behalf? As long as you have the access, you can pay it. No problem.
Got it. Thank you.
Right. I think we are just about nearing the break time. Host, if correct my understanding. So if that is the case, I'm all done here. I hope the session was fruitful and I could count your time and your valuable time. If there is any more queries, please build it up and raise it to the host so that they can ask. And we'll be also more than happy to answer your queries beyond the session.
Arvind, one more question.
Yes, please.
I'm Raghunath from Karnataka Toastmaster.
Yes,
Is it necessary to pay fees once in a 6 month or a full term to the Toastmaster International?
I think in Toastmasters website you can pay for a full 1 year also. There is a provision available, the start date as such and the end date. But paying for 1 year ahead, I would recommend you do that only if your fees being collected is for 1 year term. Do not pay upfront because, like I said earlier, you should not overburden yourself or overcommit on behalf of some members who, because we are in this part of the world, you may have a concern of they may not continue the membership for many reasons. So there is a provision that you can go for a year based on the time that you log in and the dates available. Even if you see now, you would have seen that when you log in for a renewal, if some member has not paid and you start to renew, it starts a month before. It takes for the previous term by default. So there is a provision, yes. But again, it's you have to use your prudence properly in this to pay only if you get the money. This is my suggestion.
Thank you.
Okay, I think I can see someone saying, kindly take a question, Venkat, Alco Toastmasters. Is there some question to be asked or?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
good evening. This is Venkat. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, the question is in relation to the previous question, if we are paying the fees for someone for an entire year, does that mean that that particular person is not allowed to leave the Toastmasters club in between? He is committed for the full year?
There is no such rule saying he's committed, but I'll ask you a question. If I pay you 1,000 riyals for a year and I'm leaving after 6 months, is your concern that I'll come up to you and say that I'm not going to be here for the remaining 6 months, please pay me the money back? I've never seen somebody asking the money back because they would not pay in the first place for the whole period. If they have paid, it is understood that the club has already paid on behalf of you to the Toastmasters International. There is no refund concept available in Toastmasters. Having said that, if that member is getting relocated, he or she can always join another club and continue his membership there in terms of where he is joining in. But as such, there is no refund concept with Toastmasters. So when it's not there in Toastmasters, I don't think you should encourage that refund concept saying, okay, you're paid for a year, you're here for 6 months, let me pay you the money back. Having said that, it's the club's call. If the club feels they have enough funds to accommodate this request and consider this as a one-off case, the club can do so, provided there is justification to it that this money does not really burn your funds. You are still comfortable. In fact, I go with the concept with treasurers. I always say this, and I've been saying this from all my term. Whatever funds you receive at the start of the term, make sure that you return 1 riyal extra than that to your incoming treasurer. If you have this philosophy, I'm sure you'll always maintain the funds properly because the pattern is the same, what you incur and what you spend. Is that answered, Toastmaster Venkat?
Yeah, so basically you are telling that if it is basically a club decision and if the club is paying on a 6 monthly basis and if someone leaves in between, so club may be at a leverage to say that he can be compensated back or leave it, it's more like a club decision. If it is for the full term, probably the club cannot.
Toastmaster Venkat, at any time, at any point of time, all decisions that are for a club are decided by the club only. Nobody
Okay.
beyond the club has any say at the club's operations, except for governance in terms of the guidelines to be followed. These finance matters are purely dealt within the periphery of the club's ExCom and members. Only point is, if the ExCom is taking this decision, you need to disclose this to the members of the club saying you're wanting to do this. Because tomorrow the member should not raise a question when you furnish the statement that what is the refund which we are not aware of. That's all it is. Because you're answerable only to your members, not to anybody else. Members of the
Okay,
club.
thank you. Thank you. Got it.
Right. That's about time for me, I think. So I'll like to hand over the control back to the Division C director, and then I guess we'll have a Q&A session again if there is. But in the meantime, you can build your questions. Thank you very much. You've been a wonderful audience. I hope I could do justice to whatever had to be covered. If there's anything else, you can always reach out to me. There is one part, I'm not sure if the polling has been done, but there will be a poll at the end where I would sincerely request you to rate how was the training experience in general. Thank you very much. Back to the distinguished Toastmaster, Vimal Raj. Thank you very much. It's been a wonderful audience.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Aravind. The way you look at the things and the things you look at, it will change. That's what our trainer told. In simple words, always keep change in your pocket. So no one will come up and tell, I have only $500. I don't have change. Thanks a lot. Toastmaster Aravind. I think we should take now 10 minutes break. Now it's a prayer time. So we'll have in 10 minutes. After that, we will join.
See you back in 10 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think 5 minutes more for prayer. 45 done. So at that time we can
10
stop
minutes
it.
break. It's a 10 minutes break.
Ahmed?
Yeah.
Just a query from me, Melvin.
Yeah, tell me.
Now actually I'm in India and just attending this because the opportunity is online.
Right, okay.
So training is over. The rest of the session, is it mandatory for considering the attendance?
Actually, I'm not the right person to answer that. Let me ask Division C Director Vimal Raj.
Yeah.
Whether he can leave or he need to stay.
I think maybe another 10 minutes we will just join and we'll see any other more questions. Then we can just wait for another 10 minutes. That is.
Okay, nice.
He's in India, but he cannot take a break because it's not a break.
Because our district finance manager is there.
Okay.
To bring him also to the stage.
So Melvin,
because I just came today only.
Okay.
So I thought maybe I will just attend and finish the training and then maybe able to leave.
So you are in quarantine, no?
Yes.
So then you don't have any other work. You have to be here only.
But I have a time to spend with my family.
Oh, sure.
That is the only reason I came to India.
Sure. I think our district finance manager is here. Just wait for another 5 minutes. I'll just have a word with.
No issues.
And I will come back. Give me 5 minutes.
Arvind, after break, it is experience sharing session.
Yeah, it's the other way around now. I would
Other
love
way.
for the members to share their experience with me, and if they have
Experience.
any queries, they can feel free to ask.
Okay.
I think I've spoken enough. I can see Disha is already twitching her eyes saying, yeah, it's my time.
I have had a good experience, so I'm not going to share anything as of now here.
Okay.
Since both of you from same Toastmasters, right? Talking Matters.
Yeah, but she's representing another club. I was
Other
surprised to
club.
see her. She's representing
Yeah,
another club.
yeah. Not Talking Matters. This is HSC.
Wow. Okay.
We have got our club treasurer Hitesh also with us. So.
Yeah.
I actually missed to ask this question. There could be some of the members who are probably attending the court for the first time, in the sense if they probably did not attend earlier, or there was a change of XCOM roles, and then they're taking for the first time. So it could be a little more information for them, but I'm sure we were trying to keep it as simple as possible in our explanation. If they have anything, they can definitely ask if there are any confusion or any doubts about it.
Arvind, are you managed to create the poll?
No, I've not created the poll because I don't have the access to the account code, but it's okay. What we can do is
Okay, you can
I will share.
What I need to add it, I will add it. No problem.
Yeah, the meeting is on now. Just there is an option called poll at the bottom. You should see an option called poll.
Yeah, it's open. It's open.
Yeah, just open the poll and then type in your question and leave it, and then probably we'll shoot it to all the members just after they convene after the break.
Sure.
This is just for me to know how bad or how good I am in terms of. This is my first online training session as such. So this is something new for me also that I'm learning now. So I just wanted to get a feedback on that.
So you're planning to get into this training field permanently after this?
No. I wish though. I have a long shoes to fill in. I already see some of my friends are into this. I can see Nisha is into this already. So it's a long way to go for me. But yes, if there is an opportunity and avenue, why not?
Yeah, sure.
In fact, we just had our club had a 400 meeting yesterday. We just had a small convening meeting, and then we were busy with that. And then we were just down. I was just contemplating how this would go for me today afternoon. And when I said I'm going to eat, you said make sure that you don't sleep. I was worried about others should not sleep because it's just after lunch. And today's a Friday, so I always keep hearing people saying biryani, biryani, biryani. So I hope that they don't get heavy with their food and then they feel a bit drowsy or something. So I hope this was an interactive session. I would have loved it to be an in-person thing, so we could have actually probably played a more of a role play in terms of the interactions. But nonetheless, I think we still have enough time to go to at least some questions, if not personal interactions.
Prabhagar, do you have any questions? Just mark it down. Prabhagar is from my club.
Yeah. So for my, my question is, some member, even after repeated follow, they don't pay the dues. Even we have, we have got a confirmation that they are going to pay, and we paid, and we are going to nearing, 3 months completion. Still, they have not paid. Even
Are they regular? Are they attending the meetings regularly at least?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, then I think it's a time where XCOM needs to take a call whether they should continue the membership or they they have to because everybody needs to understand this, that money is required to run any show. So definitely they should heed and respect it. Probably what you could do is, if you are having a challenge in following up, maybe ask one of your other XCOM members or check who introduced that member. Try to understand from them what is their concern. Is this just that they're not paying it, they're not beating you, or is that they have a genuine concern? And always there is always a scenario, Prabhakar, wherein some members will drop out for whatever reason. So you always need to keep filling that vacuum with more and more members. That's the only way forward in this. But do not ever, in my personal opinion, renew their membership presuming they will pay. Don't do that, because then you are taking a huge risk of committing on their behalf. So don't do that. That's my personal. But I thought Vakra Toastmasters got a very healthy membership. So
Yeah.
Members,
one or two
yeah,
members here or there
exactly.
wouldn't really have much of an impact, I guess.
Yeah, definitely, yes, agreed. Maybe in the the next membership, we'll be taking care of it.
Right. Because there's always the option for the members to be reinstated, because for a certain period the membership is still held at Toastmasters and you can be reinstated during the period. So don't worry on that part. Whatever is the minimum requirement for your points and everything, you can renew them first and then follow up for the rest. Don't hold the entire membership fees till the 1 or 2 members are not paying. Don't do that. Renew whatever you have immediately received, and rest you do a follow up.
Yes, agreed. Thank you.
In fact, I have a suggestion.
Yeah, Malbhai.
Whenever there is a renewal period, you form the WhatsApp group or something saying that, okay, this many people's dues for the renewal, and as and when person pays, his name will be taken out directly from that outstanding group. So you even don't have to talk much, because as soon as the name is taken out from the list, it is clear that the person is paid, and who is not paid remain in the group. So you just have to say that in the group there are still so many people remain, number of people remaining. You don't have to take the name.
Actually, this is something which could be a bit dicey, because sometimes no member wants to be told to the open world saying that I have not paid. So that is again a very dicey thing. If it works good, but you risk losing the entire membership in the group then, in that particular WhatsApp group.
No, the thing is that it is, say for 20 members, you form the group. As soon as Arvind paid, Arvind name is gone.
You're talking
so
about, then you're talking about creating a same group as your club group. Okay. I thought you're only talking about creating a group for those who have not paid.
No, nothing like that. Full group you initially create.
Right.
And when people start paying, knock out the names.
This is a silent way of making them conscious of this.
Yes, it is an indirect persuasion.
If it works, try it.
No, it works. I have noticed it.
No, I'm referring to Mr. Prabhakaran for your suggestion. I know it works for you because you tried it already. I was referring to the other. I think it's time already now, is it? Or
is it?
Yeah, it's the time.
30 seconds.
Okay.
Has the attendance is already been taken?
They will take it towards the end. That is the catch here.
Hi, Arvind.
That's why I have Melvin to be there.
Sorry?
That's why I was requesting Melvin to be here.
Yeah,
only.
because I'm not sure if you're aware of it. It's nowadays, unlike earlier where you could open the door and leave, now your timing is stamped in the Zoom attendees. So they know actually how much time you have spent. So probably that is how they look at it. So I have no concerns or reasons to hold you back. It's entirely the district's prerogative. Although I would love to have you stay a little longer, because some of the questions from some members could also be something which you are facing and you could get answered for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
10 minutes
That's
over.
right. That's yeah, but
It's time.
Friday evening.
I hope the division director has no problem in me sitting and answering the questions now, because I thought I'll take a break from standing.
No worries. Now you can sit.
Please.
So how many members have we have? Almost 60 odd, 50 odd members.
Now we have actually almost 67 members were there.
Okay.
It's
That's
including
good, 2/3.
Yeah. If you have any questions, we can raise. And
hi, Arvind. I have one more question, if you may.
Sure. Go ahead.
Hi. So like we have a little catch with our Toastmasters, like because we are a part of Qatar Airways. So and sometimes people leave within the term because of some XYZ reasons, or like me, the other side. So what happens is like because as far as concerned, we cannot use our premises. They cannot get into our offices and other thing. So in case like if you transfer to another club, will that membership money goes to that, or is it
No,
possible?
When I say the membership transfer, what I meant was from a perspective of the member to continue his or her journey. But the fees that you have paid, that is not transferred because it is recorded against your club. The minute you talk about transferring, you will lose that member's membership. So if that count is minimum count for your club, you would lose it. So that's why there is no provision to transfer the funds credit from your club to another club. What I was referring to is the journey of the Toastmaster can be continued by him joining another club. That's about it.
Okay, so he or she can attend, do the meetings and other thing in
I
another club.
also there is a provision that since they've paid at your club and the membership is active, as long as the membership is active or even otherwise for that matter, they can attend any other club during the tenure saying that he or she is part of that Toastmasters club, because your club is not affiliated to your organization in the sense as subset of it. So they can still say I'm part of Oryx Toastmasters. They don't need really to say that I'm no more working for Qatar Airways. Nobody would ask.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. With virtual, it is much easy. They can join our meetings.
True. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
I understand. It's a very peculiar situation. I'm sure many of the corporates will have the same challenge.
Yeah.
So, like I said, they can join any other place as long as the membership is active. They don't need to, they can continue giving their speeches also for that matter. Their pathways is enabled. They can access in it. After that, they can choose to join in any other club wherever they deem fit for them.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
This dual membership fees, how it works, like this?
Dual membership fees actually I'm talking about the earlier times, they used to take dual membership fees as an extra benefit to the club where they never really registered them. But now the norm says that even if it's a dual member fees, you need to register them because that member needs to be given the advantage of having two clubs active so that they can compete and participate. So otherwise what happens is the name is only appearing in one club and then they cannot get the benefit of representing that club. So dual or regular, they have to be registered. The advantage with dual or is the fees is less, but again, that is again to be subject to current situation. There is no dual, no regular. I think most clubs are charging the minimum that is required to be remitted to TI. But in a normal scenario, yes, dual is, they don't attend the club, but you need to still register them.
Thank you.
So do we have any more Q&A questions? Are we getting into that session now? Yes. The first time I saw the agenda stretch time, what I was wondering, what is the stretch time? So this is something new for me. I learned something today. Stretch out.
We have our finance manager, district finance manager with us. Let us acknowledge of our district finance manager, Aziz Mohammed. Toastmaster Aziz Mohammed, he's gone for prayer.
Yeah, he's here.
I'm here. Thank you, Division C Director Bimal. I'm here, and I've been enjoying.
You to share some word of wisdom to help our treasurer team.
Oh yeah, it's just mute it down. Division C Director, Toastmaster Bimal Raj, and fellow Toastmasters, and my dear treasurers, wish you all a very, very good evening. It's indeed a great pleasure to be, within the session. Well, they say, as much as you possible learn from books and, try to gain education through books, it doesn't beat getting the experience from a master. And I think that is what typically today Toastmaster Arvind represented. As much as we learn about the instructions which are provided, but the nuances and the intricacies of doing the job, that is what Arvind presented, and it is very, very quite comprehensive. And I was, sort of liking it, and it was like, he was taking me through my role as treasurer and how I performed, be it keeping a change or chasing behind the members who had introduced the guests and so forth. Thank you, Arvind, for that very wonderful, sort of presentation. You, I think, very, very comprehensively presented, and I really, had a great pleasure listening to you throughout the session. Some of the questions which our fellow treasurers asked, I think, were wonderful, very, very apt questions. It really shows how much they are putting their efforts into the job itself. Those are the genuine, challenges which we treasurers come across in terms of dual membership, in terms of membership renewals, in terms of, trying to keep the expenses, the budget, and so forth. And I think Arvind did great. I was just wondering how we could present these answers, but I think Arvind did a wonderful job. Thanks, Arvind, once again there.
Sure.
Well, they say, I was in a similar presentation, similar, sort of a session before in the last year and the prior as well. And there were different, Toastmasters who were coming and presenting the different club roles. And somebody said, the president is like the chief executive officer. And then they said that the education, the VP education is like the program director and the program coordinator. And then you have VP membership who does, is the face of the club and so forth. But then, the gentleman came, our fellow Toastmaster came in for the treasurer's role and said, the treasurer's role is like the heart of a human body. And that was very touching. And I think that was exactly how you could put a synonym for the role of a treasurer as such. Truly so, because the treasurer's role is that of an engine trying to run the machine called the club. Rightly so, because I think the treasurer takes the prospective look for the whole year, trying to see what are the expenses, how you can manage the expenses. Not only thinking about it, but putting on a paper and, trying to work it out, the expenses, how to get the revenue, and, trying to do the job towards the club, job towards the members, duties towards the members in terms of trying to keep the member in good standing, because member in good standing is very important when it comes to contest and, sort of his credentials and so forth. So I understand that the role of a treasurer is very, very important and is a very significant contribution for the success of the club. I think we should also understand that Toastmasters is a non-profit organization. So as much as we're talking about budget and expenses and collecting money from members, we should also make sure that our job as a treasurer of the club is to make sure that we break even. We are not looking for a profit on the organization. We are trying to do the justice of this. So we have $45 for each member. That's what we give for every 6 months. But on top of that is the margin which we collect to run our show, run our business for the club in terms of our expenses and everything. So in case we have a special meeting, yes, like one of our, sort of a treasurer, I think it was Abdul, who asked, in case of a special meeting, yes, a special fee can be factored in and so forth. And that's what the treasurer does, planning in coordination with the ExCom team as such. But apart from that, I think as Toastmaster says, we learn best in the sort of environment. We learn best. Sorry, let me rephrase it. Let me try to get the phrase. We learn best in moments of enjoyment, right? So likewise, I think if we start loving our job, if we really are passionate about it, I think we can do a great job about it. So all the very best to all our treasurers. And with that, I hand over the control to our Division C Director. Over to you, Vimal.
Thank you, District Finance Manager. So actually, right now we have the time for experience sharing. So anybody has there, and I think still it's a prayer time. That's what just now PQD called me, District PQD. So the prayer time is over, or still we need to? Is it over prior time?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, most of us are done, but probably some of them are still.
There, yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
Because District PQD just called me and asked to please stop because some are there in the prayers. That's why.
Well, 4 minutes.
Okay, so we will wait for 5 minutes, then we will start. That's what.
That should be fine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think we can start now. So 5-4, that's what.
But I want to congratulate you, DTM Vimal, because so many Toastmasters and there was absolute silence. So a round of applause for all of us.
So we are treasurers, no? The treasurers is always like that.
Muted.
Nalini, your lunch is still going on? What happened?
The lunch? No, it is after lunch now, my dear. We are on tea.
No, the video
How
is
are you,
still
Nisha?
off.
So
Yeah, I'm
nice
good,
to hear
fine.
your voice.
Your video is still off, so I was confused whether the lunch is still going on.
So I segued into snacks and tea. You
Ah,
got
okay.
to maintain the, per unit
Yeah, I
marks.
understood.
So.
Yeah.
Nisha, you can share your experience as a treasurer. Let's hear from our champion speaker.
No, is it my experience being a treasurer or my experience attending this training? What exactly do you want to hear?
First your experience as a treasurer, then experience attending the training. Both.
Now, this fellow Toastmasters, good evening. And this is the first time I became a treasurer. I have done all the XCOM roles, but I never, I never got into this particular role, and I had to take it because there was no one else to take this up. But when I became the treasurer, I realized that how difficult it is to actually, run behind people, asking them to pay the fees. And since it's HSC, people are health and safety professionals. They are either on their sites, they are busy, they are not available. So it was very, very difficult for me. But somehow I managed to get, as Toastmaster Arvind was mentioning, whenever you get the fees, you pay it to TI, and then, follow up with others. So that's exactly what I did. And luckily, I was able to manage the membership fees for all the members. But yes, it was very, very difficult. It is not an easy role, asking money, especially fees and all. Now it's contest time, and it is very important that all the members who are particularly taking part in the contest, that they have paid the fees and are eligible to take part in the contest. So again, it's going to be a tough time for the treasurers in all the clubs. So yes, it was a very different experience. It's not an easy role to do. And yes, coming back to the training, Toastmaster Arvind, I can see a future. You have a future in training, so you can try it out. It was a great session. You explained everything because you know the subject. You, like Toastmaster DTM Vimal said, that you are a subject matter expert now. So yes, it was good. It was good, especially for those who have taken up this role for the first time. I think that you have explained everything very nicely. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nisha. Thank you, Nisha, for that words. Let's hear from who else is are there to. I think.
Okay, I would like to share here. This is Jaya from ICC.
Yes, Jaya, please.
I rather like to get some tips how to collect money from the seasoned Toastmasters. Because, those who are the new, those who are not that steady in Toastmaster fraternity, it is easy to ask them, and they usually never refuse. You do not need to ask them more than twice. But most of the cases, those who are senior Toastmasters, it is really difficult to ask. And most of the time, they said, we are busy, we do not have a change. As Arvind, you are telling all those things, I was just noting. Everything applies. And at the end of the day, you have to pay from the club fund, and you have to, every day like a beggar, you have to keep on asking the money. It's a very tough job. And I find that it is the most difficult thing. I'm not telling everyone, right? I'm not telling everyone. That's still giving a kind of a general comment, but a good number of people, I found that it is really difficult. Like this time, I have collected last term's money. You can imagine, like a full term got over, we haven't got the money, then we are getting the money. It's not like that. That's how many times you have to ask, how many times you have to follow up. So if you have any tips, I would love to execute that in future.
Well, actually, the very fact that you say that it's a seasoned Toastmaster, the onus is more on them that they should oblige by not making you follow up. But I would definitely ask the members and particularly the club to ExCom to consider that if seasoned Toastmasters or a new Toastmaster, the fundamentals remain the same. You pay your membership.
That's the point. That's the point.
So you should not oblige because it's a seasoned Toastmaster in terms of tenure that you renew and then wait for correction. I would rather say that don't pay their fees. Let them know that the club is having one rule, because the Toastmasters International did not have a rule saying that seasoned you treat separately and newcomers you treat separately. So it's one rule applies to all. So I think the ExCom needs.
Arvind, that is the point. And even nowhere TI is saying that if you are a member of 2 Toastmaster club or 3 Toastmaster club, you need to pay less. It's nowhere like that. But then also when someone comes for a double membership or other, people sometimes bargain, though the clubs try their level best to adjust if possible. But people take it as a right that if I'm a member of like a dual club member, so I should pay less. But it should not be like that.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like seasoned Toastmasters, as you say, seasoned should be an example. If they now cannot be an example,
I
they cannot be called
intentionally
seasoned.
use the word like.
I know. And we also know your club name now, so we can figure it out. Sorry, on a lighter note. But having said that, like I said, there is nothing called junior, senior, season. The rule has to be transparent and applicable to all. If the club is doing beyond this, then the club is taking a big risk by using the funds of the members, which are meant for others. Like district finance manager.
Ultimately, we are collecting. But for collecting that, when you are getting after say a full term got over, and then also some people we have to consider like, okay, you pay this, like because they are then approaching somewhere some other people, and it is coming from a different reference. Why not we do this? Why not to do that? So why this thing will happen? Like it is not necessarily.
I would not really know about the references and how it works for the club that somebody else calls and you act
sometimes
on that.
But we are not doing that. But it comes like that. It is not happening. It is not happening. Then somebody will give you a call.
I would say your allegiance is to your club. So you have to take a firm stand as far as the club is concerned.
No, we have a very good club members. Like everybody is supporting one another. It's not like that. But
yeah, I mean, there will be few cases where you have this challenge. They're not paying, you have to work your way out of this, but at the end of the day, do not take their burden onto your shoulders as a club is what I would say.
That is then we will be suffering. The club will be suffering. Then we'll not be able to handle the rest of the work. That's very true. But these are the things where Treasury is facing maximum challenges to get the money. And
I am Kanabiran from ICTM.
Hi, Kanabiran. Yes, please.
Answering to Madam Jaya Majumdar, this is the part of treasurer's job. Okay, so it ups and downs are part of it. Okay, I would like to explain or share my experience with ICTM as a treasurer. I have been a treasurer in Division B earlier, and I have taken a treasurer position currently in ICTM as well. I just would like to ask, how do you take the handover of the previous treasurer to the current period or the session? How many of you have such an experience, like somebody has handed over the finances to you in terms of doing an audit and taking over in numbers? Anybody has that experience that somebody has handed over to you and the things are audited, reconciled? Has it been done?
No such thing happened. Okay. I got the money when it is ICC. I got only few kind of a data, but once I have taken over, this is my second year of tenure kind of that somehow. And I have put it in Excel and made it a rule that if you want to audit, if anybody wants to. So we have now done it. Now ICC have everything.
Most of the clubs do not have that practice of actual handing over and take. And so what we have done in ICTM is we formed an audit committee where we have reconciled the entire expenses past to current and then made sure that everything is collected from the past dues, because there are many members who have not
Very true.
paid the past dues also. There are
Past dues
pending
are-
dues from them, and collecting now from them is become more tedious, as you might be experiencing as well. Forget the current term collection. We do have past term collections which are pending from customers, the members as well. So we have made it a point to request them to pay the money, because they have been continuing with the club. So these are the things which we have put, and we have formed an audit
Basically, the
committee.
previous treasurers in that case actually have not put on that kind of effort to get it done, or
Cannot blame
they are
them.
not giving that record also that you have not submitted. Otherwise,
Yes.
as a
So-
treasurer, if you are doing your tenure properly, the next one do not have to face it.
Absolutely. So as a treasurer of current term, what best we can do, as Toastmaster Arvind was saying, make sure that data is collected, put in paper in Excel on a day-to-day basis, have everything in black and white, and then as per the expenses incurred, whatever is there, you need to hand over to the next. If that is done, the entire process will be much more easier. Without which, and we are going to go and reconcile the past collections and this and that, why the money has not come, etc. It becomes more difficult for us to manage the current term as well. So this area is also one area where actually we need to, as a finance manager of the club, how to ensure that the money is collected from every member, past as well as the present, and ensure that documentation and the accounts are maintained in proper manner. That's it.
I think, Arvind, usually we used to have a budget template. That's what we used to do. We have a budget template. In that budget template, earlier, see, monthly 2 meetings are there. So we know the expenses, what we are going to have, and club contest. So these details we have mentioned, and we come up with this is the price, this is the cost, what we have going to have. And in that way, we have a budget at the initial stage. Then we have an actuals. That's what we used to have. I think if you need that kind of templates, we can share with, I will share Arvind first, then he can vouch it, and we can share it with you.
Also, what happens is there is another thing that sometimes, some of the club, the ExCom decides on behalf of the club to incur some expenses. What I've seen as an experience I've learned is, without taking a concurrence from the members, they incur and commit an expense. And then that creates a vacuum in the club. So that is why like I mentioned, I would like to reiterate, the club ExCom is only the custodian of the money. They do not have a liberty to directly decide on behalf of the members. So if anything unusual beyond the regular expenses, what like District Finance Manager said, bare minimum that you need, if anything unusual is being incurred, you need to first table a motion in the club saying such a thing is going to be taking place. Do we have the concurrence of the members? And once the motion is passed and seconded, only and only then you incur. Barring that, if you're only going to maintain your traditional meeting, I don't think you will have a challenge of a vacuum in terms of a membership values. But yes, as Toastmaster Kanibaran said, that this challenge is a Herculean task, especially with the so-called members who have had a longer tenure in the club, who tend to get a bit complacent in terms of this, saying that, okay, I'll pay. But I would still sincerely request that the ExCom should not take the burden on the club. Because it's like this, if you're doing a mistake, if you don't realize your mistake, you will continue to do the mistake. If you're not told you're doing a mistake, you'll continue to do the mistake. So take that hit one time of risk of losing a member, but then he or she realizes that the club is fair to all. What is the harm in following a single rule for all? Because new or old, members are members. So I would recommend that. And yes, for the budget templates, we can definitely send it across to you. DTM Vimal can vouch for it, and we will send it across to you. Not a problem, to all the members who are present here and otherwise. Yes, please.
I would share my experience. I just joined in July the ExCom as a treasurer. As many of the other colleagues mentioned, for the last term, there were a lot of backlog. So that was a shock for me. But during the COVID with the online transactions, I could able to close it. And for the future term from the current term, we started almost in mid of August. And then we targeted specifically the people who can pay, who are mostly, we know, the influencers, or who will be able to pay. And then by the 10th of September, we completed for the Dazzling Award. So that's how we have done. And they were like last people who are like on the edge, like deciding or not deciding. And finally in the September, like all the people who are on board have paid the dues. So the next treasurer will be happy.
Kudos. Anybody else? I guess we're at the cusp of it, Division C Director. I think everybody has had enough of all the treasurer money treasuring thing. I think it's quite a handful for them for the evening, I guess.
Yes. So I think nothing more else to add. Is there anything? Something I need to add? Please. Any other questions? Yeah.
This is Arshad, the CA Toastmaster Club.
Yes, Arshad, you're the right person. You are from CA background. You are the right person. Please.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, I mean, I heard what being discussed, and it's very valuable in terms of experience, how the other members are dealing with cash. And the only thing I had issue this time, because of the online transaction, I found my bank account is actually with everybody at the end. And also I had to make some transaction with my credit card, which I never did personally. I don't do anything using my card for something else. So I had some moral problem. In fact, I was hesitant. Finally, I closed the deal this 6-month period. So is there any way out that I don't expose my bank account, my credit card for something I'm doing voluntarily for everybody? For your kind, any advice on this? Thank you.
Can I take that question?
Yes.
Right. Let me, if it is, you're talking about the concern of security for the transaction, don't worry. Fortunately, we are in that part of the world where we have a double layer security in terms of a transaction, and the portal as such is a secured portal. For those of you who understand SSL, it's a secured certificates are available for you to do the transaction. But yes, if you have a concern not to use your personal card, which probably has a higher limit and you risk losing in terms of if there's any fraud, banks in Qatar also have a concept called as a limited credit card, meaning you can top up a prepaid credit card and use only that card for making online transactions. Thereby, you have got a restricted limits and you can only use to the exact requirement that you need for making a payment. So some of the banks do support that by you paying an initial charge. So from the bank, the club can initially take the charge as an expense, and then this card can continue to change guard each time the treasurer changes. So thereby you don't expose your personal card into the transaction if you have that concern. So there are prepaid cards available.
Okay, thank you. I will explore on that. If anything, I'll take up this matter personally to you. Thank you so much.
Sure, anytime. Thank you.
Arvind, just continue on that question which Arshad has asked. Like I do the transaction on credit card with my personal one and the Toastmaster. But as you said, it is secure. Site is secure, but the finance transaction is still not a 3D secure. Is there anything Toastmaster is doing there? See,
if you have an IT professional, if you ask the minute you're online, you're not secure. If you ask me in a layman term, on any day, if that bare minimum, if you want to say. But what I understand is the provider, which is a US-based provider, these are all verify. If you see on the website of TI, when you make a portal signature, there is a VeriSign lock. Most of the websites which are a secured website, you'll find a small lock icon on the left-hand side on the top of the browser. That shows it's a secured certificate authenticator available on the site. If you don't see that small lock, the traditional lock icon, which means that it's an open site, it doesn't have a security, then I would not recommend you to use this facility. Yes, financial transactions are not 3D secure because again, there is also a concern of the card provider because MasterCard and Visa, they have this thing, whereas some of the cards are not acceptable. So there is a challenge there. But if you feel any of this is a concern, then go with a limit prepaid card, which solves your problem. Unfortunately, we are not in US, whereas if you're in US, you can also sign a check. You can send a check across, a mail order kind of thing, and then they will accept it, which even today Toastmasters has that provision to send in a check. Unfortunately, from here, we can't do that. That's why we use the option of a credit card. I'm not sure if PayPal is already introduced as a mode of payment in TI. If that is introduced, then PayPal is definitely a bit more secure than your regular transactions. I'll have to check on that if PayPal is available now on this.
Yeah, anyway, since the 3D secure is not there, the onus is on the Toastmasters. If any fraud happens,
Yes.
they are liable to take it, right? That's what, because I work with Qatar Airways flights websites, so it's the same.
I understand. So that's why I say that if that is a concern, then play it completely safe by using a limit card so that your risk is reduced, the exposure is reduced.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I think we have done. Any more questions?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I just have. I don't know if people are already working on that. Isn't it always good to have a TMI, at least the Qatar, registered under some financial, maybe Qatar Financial Center or something, so that we can avoid all this kind of, the worries that we have commonly. I don't know whether you are already, because you're district official, division official, you might be taking care of this. Is there something under process or yeah? So that we can issue a check under the club name or sponsorships or anything, that's more transparent and more clear.
What I understand is our district team is working under that. The same thing. District finance manager, can you please?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a very, very valid question. I've been listening to all this, concerns from the treasurers. Yes, I think district is predominantly, very proactively looking into this aspect. Our district is pretty new in business. We are only, 3 years now, but we have taken concerned effort towards it. But when it comes to Qatar regulatory authorities in terms of giving an approval, there is it's called a stringent process. So at the moment, we are in the process of registering the district 116, which should hopefully, inshallah, happen very soon. But then when it comes down to registering of the clubs, I don't think so. It's a prospective very soon. We're talking about at least 65 clubs in Qatar. In terms of registering each of the club, I don't think so that's a possibility anywhere, because each club doesn't stand in itself as a sort of entity which can
at
be
least a parent body. For example, we have the Indian Business Professionals Council, IBPC. This has one account, and all the affiliated organizations under that can use their IBPC account. And that is registered in the Qatar Financial Center or something like that.
Correct.
Some kind of arrangement.
Yes, that hopefully, prospectively will hopefully happen.
So for any transaction of a particular value, you can use that account.
Yeah, I understand, especially for sponsorships, this becomes very, very important. But then, it calls upon layers of, distributing the funds when the sponsorship has come to the relevant party and so forth. Yeah, I think that's a valid question. Hopefully, that will probably, happen as we, that will probably propel as well, sort of in the later years. But as of now, the state district is seriously taking, charge of a proactive approach towards establishing District 116 as a, sort of a finance entity at Qatar Financial Authority, Qatar Financial Center, QFC. Hopefully that should happen soon as such.
Because my concern, because here we push our members to get the membership on time, and sometimes, like, if they don't pay the payment on time, we are like, when there is a push from the program, the club growth director, we need to add 5 more members, we need to 6 more members, so to get the points. So ultimately, the club is going to lose the money if you want to actually put up all these members onto the TMI site. And if now it can be other way, like if the district or division is pushing, they can use that their card or their facility to, so that the clubs don't suffer. There's always a clash here,
No, but sorry, if you could just clarify, how do you expect the district to, sort of fund the membership fees?
No, for example, you have for one area, you have one common Zoom account. You can use it for different clubs in your area. Yeah, one account. Your area pays for one account of Zoom. Similarly, like if there is some growth objectives that is put on to the area or to the club level. So if the club is finding some problems to add more members due to some financial issues, so even the area or the division can help in that way. Is that possible? Yeah.
See, I think division takes a very, the lot of this, the whole organization in terms of, the district, we got multiple layers of, leadership running right from the district to the club level. So we got district leaders, we got division leaders, we have got area leaders who are proactively, consistently working. Ask, our division C director how much is working on it. Vimal, he can, show his schedule and so forth. In terms of supporting the club, there's a lot of activities happening at each level, right? But when it comes to, sort of funding each of the members in supporting the membership fees, I don't think so that's likely possibility. Let me explain you the way it works. Member is at the core of, Toastmasters. He's like at the top of it. And then the rest, we have an inverted triangle. So member is the core. Now, in terms of the funding, the district is not funding the members, but it is the other way around. As a Toastmaster, the way it works is the $45 which we get from the member, that is the fee, irrespective of any, even the members, the dual members and everything. Of that, a certain percentage comes out for operations of the district. If I'm, about 25% of that fees come for maintenance and operation. So those activities are, apart from membership and membership growth. In fact, there is the role defined for a club growth director, but however, his role is not to, sort of look into funding of these members, but his role is to facilitate the growth of membership, if I'm able to put it clearly. So he would provide avenues, he would support in terms of, sort of leadership, in terms of, sort of any other support required from Toastmasters, from the district division, in terms of encouragement, in terms of any assistance, support needed. But in terms of the fee, no, it is up to the member of the club to pay for his fees as such. Yeah.
Okay.
If I may just add to what the question was raised, what the district FM just clarified, unless the body is a registered entity, obviously in terms of legality approach, in terms of the payment, that is ruled out till it is not registered legally. So that is still being in the pipeline. And when you're talking about supporting, it's just transferring the liability from one person to another. If you feel that the club using a club's members card is at risk, even if you're saying it's an area, it's someone's card only being used. So the risk is just being transferred from one person to another. But if you really want to secure yourself, use a limit card and that's about it. So you don't need to worry about it for now. And district, yes, they are working proactively on this. I can definitely vouch it for, because last year I was part of the district. They've been working on it and I'm sure this will come through very soon. Till then, I would suggest try and find your alternates of using some limit cards to make the payment. So that way you're secure. Thank you. So Division C data, I think that's about it. As I see it from members who are wanting to interact, all questions have been raised. If there's anything else, they can always reach out to the same channel through the club president or the area director and back to you, and then we can definitely respond back to them. I would just request you to just quickly run the poll for my own interest to understand what is the sort of response we have from the members. If you could just run the poll quickly. If there's any challenge, it's okay, Division Director. They can just put in a message later or reach out to you later. I just wanted a feedback on the training, but that's okay.
You can send an email later on or something.
Yeah, just send an email and just give us your feedback as to how you felt the training was and if there's anything we could do to improve ourselves better. Yeah, there you go.
Vimal, unmute yourself. You're muted.
Yeah. I think it's done, right?
Yeah, it's done.
And Nisha, you have a great competitor now. He is 91% people are.
Sorry, who is that? Who is that?
Arvind. He's all the best, Arvind, and all the best, Nisha.
Pleasure is all ours. Thank you very much. You've been a wonderful audience, and it was a great learning experience. Even today, I feel that despite so many years in Toastmasters, there's still a lot to learn and a lot to share from members. And using this, we can go back and apply these approaches to our day-to-day routine in Toastmasters and beyond. So thank you very much. Thank you, Division C, for giving me the opportunity to have played a small part in this COT and helping the leaders of tomorrow to gain and more from this wonderful institution and its approach. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Arvind Iyer. If you have any questions related to finance, Arvind is there. If anything about IT, Arvind is there. That's why we picked Toastmaster Arvind. He's the right person. So thanks a lot for your insights. I appreciate your time taking for and share these informations. I don't have to add more about this role. I thank each and everyone who joined this club officers training. Also, I thank our district finance manager and his presence throughout the meeting and his words of wisdom. Also, I need to thank our host, Ahmad Shah, who was there from, I should say it's from morning he was there. Our area director, Ashokan, who was there posting our pictures throughout the WhatsApp groups. Now you are all our celebrities now. Also, he was the one who was helping us in the registration process. And we have timer Samyukta. Thank you, Samyukta, for your support. With this, we have with this agenda go-to training. I request a district finance manager and our trainer to come forward and together we can agenda this training. So with this, we adjourn the core training for the treasurer. Club officers training number 2. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
With your permission, I would like to leave the training. I need
to now you can leave. Your registration, your now name, number, everything has registered. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure being a part of it. Once again, thank you.
Thank you all.